Rahim. First of all, I want to thank all the authors who are contributing knowledge about electronics devices and all the publishers who are publishing the books. I share knowledge from these resources to contribute to my students. So this is on the request of a student, and he has asked to explain the working of ideal diode circuits and especially how to sketch the output waveform. So let's take this circuit. This is an ideal diode, and we have a resistor here. The input is a sinusoidal signal, and I'm just assuming magnitude to be 10 volt positive, 10 volt negative. Now, the first thing we'll take is we'll consider positive half cycle. And so for positive half cycle, we'll have a positive sign at the top here, input, and negative at the bottom. And if you recall the knowledge of diode, we know that if the diode positive, now this is the positive of the diode and this vertical line shows the negative of the diode. If the positive of the battery touches the positive of the diode will become forward bias. And in case of an ideal diode, it will be represented just by a straight line, like shown here, represented by a straight line. Now, this whole voltage input will appear across the output, or if you want to write in terms of a current, you can see that the current from here will flow like this. Then touching here, it will be positive, and here it will be negative. So whatever is the input, same will appear at the output or across the 2K resistor. Whatever is across the 2K resistor, that is the output. So we'll plot it like this, that the output is same as the input. Now we take the negative half cycle, and for the negative half cycle, now negative sign will be at the top and positive at the bottom. Now the negative of the battery or the input is touching the positive of the diode. That means the diode will now be reverse bias or open circuit. Will be represented by an open circuit. And since the circuit is now open, no current from the source will flow in the circuit, and therefore there will be no voltage drop, and therefore output voltage will be 0 volt. So our net output for this input will be 10 volt for the positive half, or the maximum we can say, and 0 volt for the negative half. Now, in case a frequency is given, then from the frequency you can calculate the time period of one cycle, that is 1 over f, and that time period you can use to mark these timelines as well. So now this is the part A of the question. Now let's see part B of the question. What they have done is they have added two diodes, and from the previous circuit, the diode direction have been reversed. Now it is negative at the left and positive towards the right. So it doesn't make any difference. We'll just follow the same technique. So we go for the positive half, and positive half, positive will be at the top. Now the positive of the battery or the input is touching the negative of the diode. Therefore, both the diodes will now be reverse biased, because this positive touching the negative, also this negative. So we can show it by an open circuit. And since it is open circuit, no current will flow, and therefore the output voltage will be 0 volt for the positive half cycle. Then coming on to the negative half cycle. Now the negative half cycle, negative at the top, positive at the bottom. Now this negative is touching negative of the diode, and therefore both the diodes will now be forward biased. And we'll show it by straight line. And now you can see the current from the source will flow through this. So there will be voltage drop here, and the output V out would be same as V in. Therefore, this is our output. So the net output for the positive and negative, first half cycle it will be 0 volt, and the second half cycle it will be same as the input, that is minus 10 volt. We'll do another one, and now in this case the two diodes are opposite. This is facing left and this is facing right, but it doesn't matter. We'll just follow the technique that we have learned. Take the positive half cycle, positive at the top. Now this positive is touching the negative of the diode. That means this diode will become reverse bias. We can also say that the positive will touch the positive of the other diode, or the negative will touch the negative of the other diode. Therefore, this diode will become forward bias. So the circuit will now look like this. The first one reverse bias, the second one forward bias. But because there is a break in the circuit, so no current will flow, and that means output voltage will be 0 volt. And the negative half cycle will also have similar thing, negative, making this diode positive, but this diode reverse bias. So this will be forward bias, and the second one will be reverse bias. So now our circuit will look like this, forward bias and open for the reverse bias. And so in this case also there will be no current flow because of the break, and therefore output will be 0 volt. So for both the both the cycles, output will be 0 volt, 0 volt. I hope you have been able to follow this. Please let me know through your comments. Thank you.